Tonight, there is nowhere you need to go, nothing you need to solve, no rush, no noise, just you, and the quiet rhythm of time slowing down. Take a slow breath in and gently let it go. Now imagine the Earth thousands of years ago, when the air was colder, the skies were clearer, and the world was wrapped in soft white silence. This was the Ice Age, a time when massive glaciers moved across continents like slow, peaceful rivers, when snow-covered plains stretched beyond the horizon, when frozen oceans shimmered under moonlight, and when the planet itself seemed to breathe more slowly. Despite its name, the Ice Age was not only about cold, it was about patience, about balance, about long natural rhythms that shaped mountains, oceans, and life itself. Tonight, we will explore the most relaxing and fascinating facts about this frozen world. Not in a rush, not with loud excitement, but gently, calmly, one quiet discovery at a time. You'll hear about drifting glaciers, ancient frozen landscapes, peaceful snowfall patterns, and the slow movement of Earth through deep time. There is nothing you need to remember, nothing you need to focus on. Just let the words flow past you, like soft snow falling through the night sky. So get comfortable, let your shoulders relax, allow your breathing to slow. The world can wait. And as we begin this journey into the calm silence of the Ice Age, your mind can begin to rest, your body can begin to soften, and sleep can slowly find its way to you. Long ago, before cities, before roads, before the sound of engines and crowded streets, the Earth entered a quiet phase of deep cold. This was the Ice Age, not one single moment, but a long period of time when the planet slowly cooled, when snow gathered year after year, and when massive sheets of ice formed across the land. Imagine standing on a wide open plain. There is no noise, no wind strong enough to disturb the silence, only soft snow resting on the ground, sparkling gently under pale sunlight. During the Ice Age, enormous glaciers covered large parts of North America, Europe, and Asia. These glaciers were not fast or violent. They moved slowly, only a few centimeters each day. Slower than walking, slower than flowing water. They moved with patience, like frozen rivers, quietly reshaping the earth. As these glaciers traveled across the land, they gently carved valleys, smoothed mountains, and created lakes. Many of the landscapes we see today were shaped during this time. Deep valleys, wide plains, clear freshwater lakes, all formed by slow ice. The air during the Ice Age was cleaner and calmer in many regions. With fewer forests in cold areas and less moisture in the atmosphere, the skies often appeared clearer. Stars seemed brighter at night. The moon reflected off endless snowfields, creating soft, glowing landscapes. Earth itself felt different, colder, quieter, slower. Temperatures dropped gradually over thousands of years. There was no sudden freezing. Instead, the planet slowly adjusted. Seasons became longer. Winters lasted more months. Summers were shorter and cooler. Snow that fell during winter did not fully melt in summer. Over time, layer upon layer of snow compressed into ice. That is how glaciers were born. Each year added another thin layer, like pages in a frozen book, recording Earth's history. Deep inside glaciers today, scientists can still find tiny air bubbles trapped in ice. These bubbles contain ancient air from tens of thousands of years ago. By studying them, researchers learn what Earth's atmosphere was like during the Ice Age. Even the breath of the ancient world is preserved inside ice. The Ice Age was not empty or lifeless. Life adapted. Animals developed thick fur, larger bodies, and special features to survive the cold. Woolly mammoths walked slowly across frozen plains. Giant ground sloths rested near icy rivers. Saber-toothed cats moved quietly through snowy forests. But tonight, we focus on calm facts, gentle rhythms, and peaceful changes. Let your mind imagine the slow movement of glaciers. Picture ice stretching across valleys, soft sunlight reflecting on frozen surfaces, snow falling gently without sound. Glaciers are heavy, extremely heavy. Some were over 3 kilometers thick, yet they moved without noise, no crashing, no roaring, just silent pressure, shaping the earth beneath them. As glaciers melted slowly, they created rivers that flowed gently across the land. These rivers carried fresh water into oceans and lakes. This helped regulate Earth's climate and create fertile soil in future warmer periods. Even after ice retreated, its influence remained. Many modern farmlands exist because glaciers left behind rich mineral soil. So in a way, the Ice Age prepared the Earth for future life. Another relaxing fact about the Ice Age is how slowly time moved. There were no clocks, no schedules, no deadlines. Nature followed its own rhythm. Daylight slowly changed with seasons. Snow accumulated gradually. Ice advanced and retreated over thousands of years. This slow pace allowed ecosystems to adjust gently. Plants adapted by growing closer to the ground. Animals adjusted migration patterns. Even microorganisms evolved to survive extreme cold. Earth learned patience. During the Ice Age, sea levels were lower. Because so much water was locked inside glaciers, oceans dropped by more than 100 meters. This revealed land bridges connecting continents. One famous example is the Bering Land Bridge, which once connected Asia and North America. Animals crossed slowly. Plants spread gradually. The planet remained connected by frozen pathways. Imagine walking across a wide snowy plain, unaware that beneath your feet lies land that today rests underwater. This hidden geography is part of Ice Age mystery and calm beauty. The Ice Age also created peaceful frozen deserts. These regions were cold but dry. Snow did not fall heavily. Instead, gentle winds shaped ice crystals into soft patterns across the surface. From above, these landscapes looked like white oceans, endless, quiet, still. At night, temperatures dropped and the sky filled with stars. With less air pollution and fewer clouds, the Milky Way stretched clearly across the sky. Imagine lying on soft snow, wrapped in warm fur, looking upward at countless stars. Cold air, quiet world, glowing universe. The Ice Age was not one continuous freeze. It came in cycles, periods of colder climate followed by warmer phases. Ice advanced, then slowly retreated, then returned again. These cycles were controlled by Earth's orbit around the Sun. Small changes in the planet's tilt and distance affected how sunlight reached different regions. Even tiny shifts in Earth's movement shaped entire ice ages. This shows how gentle cosmic rhythms guide our planet. The Ice Age teaches us something peaceful. Earth is not chaotic. It follows patterns, slow patterns, long patterns, deep rhythms that repeat over thousands of years, and even when conditions change, the planet adapts. Another calming fact: glaciers act like natural refrigerators. They preserve seeds, pollen, ancient plants, and even frozen animals for thousands of years. In Siberia, scientists have found frozen mammoths with skin and fur still intact, perfectly preserved by cold. Ice protects memory. It keeps the past sleeping quietly. Many mountain glaciers today still hold ancient snow from Ice Age periods. When you look at a glacier, you are seeing frozen time, time that has been resting for tens of thousands of years. Breathing slowly, waiting patiently. Even the sound of glaciers is soft. Occasionally, you might hear small cracks or gentle pops as ice shifts. These sounds are not violent. They are slow adjustments. Like stretching after long sleep, glaciers are always moving, even when they look still, always flowing, always shaping, always calm. As the Ice Age ended, temperatures slowly rose, ice melted gently, rivers formed, plants returned, forests grew, life followed warmth again. But the calm memory of ice remains in Earth's shape, in valleys, in lakes, in coastlines, in mountains. The Ice Age did not disappear, it simply rested. And tonight, as you listen, you can rest too. Let your breathing slow. Let your thoughts drift like snowflakes. Imagine soft white landscapes stretching endlessly under quiet skies. The Ice Age reminds us that change does not need to be fast to be powerful. Slow movement can shape continents. Gentle pressure can create mountains. Quiet time can transform worlds. And just like the Earth, your mind can slow down. Your body can relax. Your thoughts can soften. In the next part, we will gently explore more peaceful Ice Age facts about frozen oceans, calm snowfall patterns, and the slow rhythm of Earth's climate cycles. But for now, let the quiet of the frozen world settle around you. Let the silence become comfortable, and allow sleep to drift closer, one slow breath at a time. During the Ice Age, the oceans themselves changed in slow and gentle ways. As massive glaciers formed on land, enormous amounts of water became locked inside ice. This caused sea levels to fall gradually, exposing wide coastal plains and shallow seabeds that are now hidden beneath the ocean. These newly revealed lands were not chaotic places. They were quiet, cold, and peaceful, stretching across horizons like frozen beaches waiting patiently beneath pale skies. Animals walked calmly across these open areas, following ancient migration paths shaped by instinct and survival. The movement was slow, steady, and rhythmic, matching the pace of the frozen world around them. At the same time, the oceans became slightly colder and denser. Cold water sinks while warmer water rises, creating gentle underwater currents that circulated nutrients across the seas. These currents helped marine life survive and adapt. Even in cold conditions, life continued its quiet work beneath the surface, glowing softly in deep waters where sunlight barely reached. Ice Age oceans were calmer in many regions. With lower sea levels and altered wind patterns, some coastal areas experienced less violent storms. Waves rolled slowly across cold waters, creating a steady and soothing rhythm. Imagine standing near a frozen shore, hearing soft waves brushing against icy sand, the air crisp and clean, the horizon stretching endlessly in front of you. Snowfall during the Ice Age followed its own gentle patterns. Snowflakes formed high in cold clouds and drifted downward slowly, falling in delicate layers that settled softly on the ground. There were no sudden blizzards everywhere, only steady accumulation over time. Each snowfall added a thin blanket, building layer by layer into thick ice sheets. This slow accumulation created a sense of patience in the environment. Nothing rushed. Everything unfolded gradually. Even storms moved more slowly, carrying cold air across continents in wide, gentle motions. The atmosphere itself adjusted to the colder climate. With lower temperatures, air held less moisture. Skies were often clearer, especially during winter months. At night, stars appeared brighter, shining sharply against dark blue skies. The moon reflected off frozen landscapes, creating soft glowing light that spread quietly across snow-covered plains. The Ice Age also changed the rhythm of rivers. During warmer seasons, melting ice created calm streams that carried fresh water into valleys. These rivers moved gently, winding through frozen terrain, carving slow curves into the land. Over thousands of years, they shaped wide riverbeds and fertile plains. When winter returned, many rivers froze again, resting quietly beneath layers of ice, waiting for the slow return of warmth. Even wind patterns adapted to the frozen world. Cold air moved steadily from polar regions toward lower latitudes, creating soft breezes that carried tiny ice crystals across open plains. These crystals sparkled in sunlight, creating shimmering curtains of frost that danced slowly through the air. The sound of wind during the Ice Age was not harsh. It whispered gently across snowfields, brushing against frozen trees and icy rocks. The cold itself became part of the environment's rhythm. Temperatures did not change suddenly from day to day. Instead, they followed long seasonal patterns. Winters were extended and calm. Summers were short and cool, offering brief moments of melting and growth before cold returned. This predictable rhythm allowed animals and plants to synchronize their life cycles with the environment. Seeds waited patiently beneath frozen soil. Insects rested in dormant states. Animals adjusted migration routes based on snow cover and food availability. Everything moved together like a slow and steady dance. Ice sheets acted as mirrors for sunlight. White surfaces reflected much of the sun's energy back into space, helping maintain the cold climate. This reflection created a feedback loop that stabilized the Ice Age conditions. The planet reached a quiet balance between incoming sunlight and outgoing heat. Earth was not frozen completely, but cooled into a steady state of calm cold. Even volcanoes during the Ice Age contributed quietly to environmental balance. Occasional eruptions released ash that settled gently on snow and ice, darkening surfaces and slightly increasing melting in certain regions. This created small streams of water that nourished nearby ecosystems. Nature adjusted continuously, always responding softly to change. Beneath glaciers, pressure created meltwater that flowed slowly along the base of ice sheets. These hidden rivers carved tunnels through ice, transporting minerals and sediment. When glaciers retreated, these underground streams left behind beautiful formations of gravel and sand, shaping the future landscape. Many modern hills and valleys are remnants of these ancient hidden rivers. Ice Age nights were especially peaceful. Without artificial lights, darkness covered the land completely. The cold air carried sound poorly, creating deep silence. Occasionally, ice would crack softly as temperatures shifted, producing gentle echoes across frozen plains. These sounds were not alarming. They were part of the natural breathing of the planet, slow and steady. Even animals adapted to this quiet environment. Many developed thicker fur not only for warmth but also to move silently across snow. Footsteps were soft, movements were careful. The frozen world encouraged calm behavior and efficient energy use. Rest became important. Conservation of warmth and strength shaped daily routines. During long winters, many species entered periods of dormancy or reduced activity. This natural slowing down mirrored the environment itself. The Ice Age teaches us something deeply relaxing. The planet does not always move fast. Sometimes it chooses stillness. Sometimes it rests in cold silence. Sometimes it reshapes itself slowly, patiently, without urgency. This slow transformation created the landscapes we know today. Mountains softened, valleys widened, lakes formed, rivers found new paths. The world we live in now carries the quiet fingerprints of ancient ice. As you listen, imagine standing beside a frozen ocean, breathing cold, clean air, watching snow drift gently toward the ground. Feel the calm rhythm of the Ice Age surrounding you. Let your breathing slow. Let your thoughts become lighter, like snow settling softly on the land. In the next part, we will continue exploring the peaceful world of the Ice Age, learning about frozen animals, quiet survival strategies, and the gentle adaptations that allowed life to flourish even in cold silence. For now, remain still. Let the frozen world hold you gently. Let the calm carry you closer to sleep. During the Ice Age, life learned to survive in calm and quiet ways. Animals did not rush. They adapted slowly, shaping their bodies and behaviors to match the cold rhythm of the planet. Thick fur became a natural blanket, trapping warm air close to the skin. Beneath this fur, layers of fat provided insulation and stored energy for long winters. These adaptations were not sudden. They developed over many generations, guided by the steady pressure of cold seasons and long frozen nights. Imagine a woolly mammoth standing peacefully on a snowy plain, its long hair moving gently in the breeze, its breath forming soft clouds in the cold air. These giant creatures moved slowly, conserving energy, choosing calm paths across the land. They travelled in groups, staying close for warmth and protection, following ancient migration routes shaped by instinct and memory. Smaller animals also adapted in gentle ways. Arctic foxes grew thicker coats that change colour with the seasons, blending softly into snow-covered landscapes. White fur reflected sunlight and provided camouflage, allowing them to move quietly across frozen ground. Snowshoe hares developed wide feet that spread their weight across snow, helping them walk gently without sinking. Every movement became smoother and more efficient. Birds adjusted their migration patterns, travelling long distances to find warmer regions during the coldest months. These journeys were not chaotic flights. They followed predictable routes guided by stars, magnetic fields, and ancient instinct. When spring returned briefly, birds came back slowly, filling frozen valleys with soft calls that echoed gently across icy landscapes. Even insects found ways to survive. Some entered deep sleep-like states called diapause, slowing their metabolism almost completely. Others produced natural antifreeze chemicals in their bodies, protecting their cells from freezing damage. These tiny creatures waited patiently beneath snow and soil, resting quietly until warmth returned. The Ice Age world was full of silent endurance. Plants also adapted to the cold in peaceful ways. Many grew close to the ground, protected from strong winds and extreme temperatures. Mosses and small shrubs formed soft green carpets beneath snow. During short summers, they grew quickly, absorbing sunlight and storing energy. When winter returned, they rested again, waiting beneath ice and frost. Trees in colder regions developed narrow, needle-like leaves that reduced water loss and prevented heavy snow buildup. Pine forests stood quietly across frozen valleys, their branches heavy with snow, creating peaceful winter landscapes. These forests slowed wind, protected animals, and stabilized soil beneath frozen ground. The relationship between plants and animals became carefully balanced. Herbivores grazed gently on tundra grasses and shrubs. Predators followed slowly, maintaining ecosystem harmony. Nothing moved quickly. Everything followed the slow rhythm of survival. Even the soil changed during the Ice Age. Repeated freezing and thawing created unique patterns in the ground called frost polygons. These natural designs formed geometric shapes across frozen landscapes, visible even today in Arctic regions. They are quiet reminders of ancient cold cycles preserved in Earth's surface. Permafrost formed beneath large areas of land. This permanently frozen ground trapped ancient plant material and microorganisms. Some of these have remained frozen for tens of thousands of years, sleeping quietly beneath the surface. Scientists today carefully study these layers to understand ancient climates and ecosystems. Ice Age caves also became peaceful shelters. Animals rested inside them during extreme cold. Early humans used caves as temporary shelters, building small fires that flickered softly against stone walls. These fires provided warmth and light without disturbing the silence of the frozen world. Inside caves, ancient paintings were created, showing animals and hunting scenes. These artworks remain today as quiet messages from the past, preserved by cold air and stable conditions. The Ice Age also influenced how early humans lived. People learned to use animal skins for clothing, creating warm layers that protected them from cold winds. They built shelters using bones, wood, and ice blocks. Communities stayed close together, sharing warmth and resources. Cooperation became essential for survival, creating strong social bonds. Food during the Ice Age was obtained through careful hunting and gathering. Large animals provided meat, fat, and materials for tools and clothing. Hunting was not rushed. It required patience, planning, and calm coordination. Groups moved quietly across snow, using the environment to their advantage. Every action was deliberate and measured. Fishing also played an important role in coastal and river regions. Ice-covered lakes were carefully opened to access water below. People waited patiently beside these openings, listening to soft water movements beneath frozen surfaces. This slow approach encouraged focus and calm awareness. Even daily routines followed natural rhythms. Sleep patterns adapted to long winter nights. People rested more, conserving energy during cold months. Summer brought longer daylight hours, allowing more activity and movement. Life followed Earth's natural clock rather than artificial schedules. The Ice Age environment encouraged mindfulness without intention. Survival required attention to weather patterns, animal behavior, and seasonal changes. People learned to observe the sky, clouds, and wind direction. These observations created deep connections between humans and nature. Silence was common. Without machines or constant noise, the frozen world allowed people to hear subtle sounds, Snow falling softly, ice cracking gently, wind whispering through frozen grass. These sounds created a peaceful background to daily life. Nighttime during the Ice Age was especially calm. The sky stretched wide and dark, filled with stars. Without city lights, constellations were bright and clear. The Milky Way glowed softly overhead. People gathered around small fires, sharing stories, watching sparks rise slowly into the cold air. These moments created warmth not only physically but emotionally. Animals also rested more during long winters. Many species reduced activity to conserve energy. Bears entered deep hibernation, sleeping peacefully in sheltered dens. Their heart rate slowed. Breathing became gentle and steady. This natural rest cycle allowed survival during extreme cold without stress or urgency. The Ice Age shows us that survival does not always require speed. Sometimes it requires stillness. Sometimes it requires patience. Sometimes it requires knowing when to rest. This lesson remains valuable even today. The frozen world moved slowly, yet it supported rich ecosystems and complex life. Balance existed even under extreme conditions. The Ice Age was not empty. It was full of quiet life, soft movement, and gentle adaptation. Every species found its place in the cold rhythm of the planet. This harmony created stability that lasted thousands of years. As you imagine this peaceful frozen world, allow your breathing to slow. Picture wide snowy plains, soft footsteps, gentle animal movements, and quiet star-filled skies. Let your thoughts drift like slow-moving clouds. In the next part, we will explore more calming Ice Age wonders, including glaciers shaping mountains, frozen lakes reflecting moonlight, and the gentle transition toward warmer periods. For now, rest in the quiet rhythm of the ancient cold. Let your mind soften. Let your body relax. Let sleep move closer with every slow breath.
As the Ice Age continued its long, quiet journey through time, the planet itself slowly reshaped its surface. This transformation did not happen through sudden force, but through steady pressure and gentle movement. Glaciers became the artists of the frozen world, carving landscapes with patience and precision. Imagine enormous rivers of ice flowing slowly across valleys, pressing softly but firmly against rock, smoothing sharp edges, widening narrow passages, and leaving behind peaceful curves in the land. Over thousands of years, mountains became rounder, valleys deeper, and plains wider, all shaped by silent ice. One of the most calming creations of glaciers was the formation of lakes. As ice sheets moved, they dug deep basins into the ground. When temperatures slowly warmed, melting ice filled these basins with clear fresh water. Many of today's most beautiful lakes were born during this time. Their calm surfaces reflect the sky like mirrors, holding the memory of ancient ice in their depths. These lakes bring quiet to the landscape, offering stillness that continues even now. The Ice Age also shaped coastlines. As glaciers melted and sea levels slowly rose again, shorelines changed gradually. New beaches formed, gentle bays appeared, and shallow seas expanded. This slow movement of water created smooth coastal curves and wide sandy plains. The ocean did not rush back suddenly. It returned in stages, allowing ecosystems to adjust naturally. Tides moved calmly, reshaping land without violence. Rivers born from melting glaciers carried minerals and nutrients across continents. These rivers moved slowly, depositing rich soil along their banks. Over time, this created fertile plains that would later support forests, grasslands, and future agriculture. The frozen past quietly prepared the foundation for warmer worlds to come. Even deserts were influenced by Ice Age processes. Wind carried fine dust from dry, cold regions and deposited it far away. This dust, known as loess, formed thick soil layers that are still used for farming today. Once again, slow movement created long-lasting benefit. Mountains experienced gentle transformation as well. Ice-filled mountain valleys, grinding rock into fine powder and transporting it downward. When glaciers melted, steep cliffs softened and wide U-shaped valleys remained. These valleys now provide peaceful hiking paths, quiet forests and calm river flows. When you walk through such valleys today, you are following paths carved by ancient ice. The Ice Age also created unique rock formations. Large stones carried by glaciers were dropped in unexpected places when ice melted. These stones, called erratics, now sit quietly in fields and forests far from their original homes. They serve as silent travelers from ancient landscapes, resting peacefully where glaciers left them. Ice sheets also compressed Earth's crust under their immense weight. When the ice melted, the land slowly rose again in a process called isostatic rebound. This movement is still happening today in some regions. The planet continues to adjust, slowly lifting land that was once pushed down by ancient ice. Even now, the Earth breathes with the memory of the Ice Age. Frozen caves formed under glaciers as meltwater carved tunnels through ice and rock. These hidden passages created shimmering ice chambers filled with soft blue light. When glaciers retreated, some of these caves collapsed while others remained, forming natural shelters and unique geological spaces. Inside these caves, temperatures stayed stable, preserving ancient ice and mineral formations. The Ice Age also influenced weather patterns in gentle ways. Cold air circulation created stable wind systems that shaped cloud movement and precipitation patterns. Snow fell evenly across large regions, creating consistent ice coverage. This stability helped maintain environmental balance during long cold periods. Storms existed, but they were often slower and more predictable, following wide atmospheric paths. Frozen wetlands formed in low-lying areas where water pooled and froze seasonally. These wetlands supported unique plant life adapted to cold conditions. During brief warm seasons, these areas bloomed with mosses, grasses and flowers that attracted insects and animals. When winter returned, they rested beneath ice, waiting patiently for sunlight again. The Ice Age also influenced underground water systems. As glaciers melted, water seeped into the ground, filling underground reservoirs known as aquifers. These reservoirs still provide fresh drinking water to millions of people today. Once again, ancient ice continues to support modern life. Even the soundscape of the Ice Age was shaped by these processes. Flowing meltwater created soft streams that whispered across frozen land. Ice cracking produced gentle echoes in quiet valleys. Wind moving across open plains created low, calming tones. Nature composed its own slow music, playing continuously for thousands of years. Night skies during the Ice Age remained clear and dark. Without artificial light, the stars shone brightly. Aurora lights appeared more frequently at lower latitudes due to changes in Earth's magnetic field and solar activity. These glowing curtains of green and purple danced silently across frozen skies, creating peaceful natural displays. Imagine standing beneath an aurora, watching soft light waves move slowly across the heavens while snow rests quietly on the ground. The Ice Age also encouraged biodiversity in unexpected ways. As ice advanced and retreated, isolated populations of plants and animals evolved separately, creating new species adapted to unique environments. This slow process of diversification enriched Earth's biological history. Even after ice retreated, these species continue to thrive in newly formed habitats. As the climate slowly warmed toward the end of the Ice Age, transitions happened gradually. Plants began to grow taller, Trees spread northward, grasslands expanded, animals followed vegetation patterns, migrating slowly into new territories. This gentle shift avoided sudden ecosystem collapse and allowed life to adapt smoothly. The warming phase did not erase the Ice Age. It layered new life on top of frozen foundations. The Earth carried forward the structure created by ice and filled it with green landscapes and flowing water. This layering created the complex and beautiful planet we see today. The Ice Age teaches a powerful and calming lesson. Change does not always need to be sudden to be meaningful. Slow processes can reshape continents, create lakes, form soil, and support life for thousands of years. Patience can build worlds. As you listen, imagine standing beside a calm glacial lake at sunset. The surface is smooth like glass, mountains reflect softly in the water, cold air touches your skin gently, the world feels still and balanced. Let this peaceful image settle in your mind. Allow your thoughts to slow. Allow your breathing to deepen. In the next part, we will explore the final chapters of the Ice Age, including how glaciers retreated, how life adapted to warmer climates, and how the frozen world slowly transformed into the modern Earth. For now, remain in this quiet moment. Let the calm of ancient ice carry you gently toward rest. As the long Ice Age slowly approached its final chapters, the world began to change again, not with sudden heat or dramatic shifts, but with gentle warming that unfolded over thousands of years. The sun's light reached the Earth at slightly different angles due to natural changes in the planet's orbit. These small variations were enough to begin melting the edges of vast ice sheets. At first, the change was almost unnoticeable. A little more snow melted each summer. Streams flowed a little longer before freezing. Plants stayed green for a few extra days. The planet whispered its transformation quietly. Glaciers responded slowly. Their immense bodies of ice did not disappear quickly. Instead, they retreated step by step, leaving behind wide valleys, smooth hills, and scattered stones. As they melted, enormous amounts of fresh water flowed into rivers and oceans. This water traveled gently across continents, carving new channels and feeding growing ecosystems. Lakes expanded, wetlands formed, and soil became richer. Life followed the water, moving slowly into newly opened spaces. Forests began to grow where tundra once stretched. Small plants took root first, covering bare ground with soft green layers. Over time, shrubs and trees followed, creating shaded habitats for animals. Birds returned earlier in spring, bringing sound and movement back to landscapes that had been quiet for thousands of years. Animals adapted once more. Some cold-loving species slowly moved northward or into higher elevations where cooler temperatures remained. Others adapted to warmer environments, developing new feeding habits and migration patterns. Large Ice Age animals such as mammoths gradually disappeared, unable to compete with changing ecosystems and human activity. Their absence was not sudden, it happened slowly, leaving behind only bones frozen in soil and stories preserved in ancient art. Humans also changed during this transition. As the climate warmed, people began to settle in one place for longer periods. With stable temperatures and growing plant life, early farming became possible. Communities formed near rivers and lakes created by melting glaciers. These water sources provided reliable food, transportation, and shelter. The Ice Age quietly laid the foundation for civilization. With warmer weather came longer growing seasons. Crops could be cultivated, animals could be domesticated. People built permanent shelters instead of temporary camps. Villages slowly grew into towns. Towns eventually became cities. All of this began because ice slowly released its grip on the land. Even as temperatures increased, remnants of the Ice Age remained. Glaciers continued to exist in mountain ranges and polar regions. These icy reservoirs still regulate Earth's climate by reflecting sunlight and storing fresh water. They act as slow-moving guardians of temperature balance. When glaciers melt today, they remind us of the planet's long memory and delicate equilibrium. The warming period after the Ice Age also brought new challenges. Rising sea levels flooded low-lying coastal areas. Some ancient settlements were gradually covered by water. People moved inland, adapting to new coastlines and changing landscapes. Again, this change was slow enough to allow migration and adjustment rather than sudden disaster. The Earth demonstrated its ability to transform without chaos when given time. Rivers expanded their networks, connecting regions and supporting trade between early communities. These waterways became natural highways, allowing people to exchange goods, ideas, and culture. Civilization grew along paths carved by ancient ice. Even today, many major cities are located near rivers formed during the Ice Age. Climate stabilization allowed ecosystems to flourish. Forests expanded across continents, creating rich habitats for countless species. Grasslands supported grazing animals. Wetlands hosted birds and insects. Biodiversity increased as new ecological niches formed. Life did not simply return after the Ice Age. It diversified and evolved, building complexity on top of frozen foundations. The atmosphere also changed slowly. As plants spread, they absorbed carbon dioxide and released oxygen. This helped regulate temperature and support larger animal populations. The balance between gases in the air stabilized, creating conditions suitable for advanced life. Once again, quiet natural processes shaped global systems. Even human culture reflects Ice Age memory. Many ancient myths and stories describe great floods, cold periods, and changing landscapes. These stories may be echoes of real events passed down through generations. Oral traditions preserved the emotional experience of climate change long before written records existed. They remind us that humans have always observed and adapted to Earth's rhythms. The end of the Ice Age did not mark the end of cold forever. Smaller ice ages and cooler periods have occurred throughout history. The planet continues to cycle between warm and cold phases. This rhythm is part of Earth's natural behavior. Understanding this rhythm helps us appreciate the balance that supports life. The Ice Age also left behind natural beauty. Glacial valleys, crystal clear lakes, dramatic fjords, and smooth rolling hills attract millions of people today. These landscapes offer peace and calm, reminding us of ancient ice that once covered the world. When people walk through these places, they experience quiet connection with deep time. The memory of ice lingers not only in geography, but in the water we drink. Much of the fresh water on Earth today originated from glacial melt. The same water that once rested as snow on ancient mountains now flows through rivers, fills lakes, and falls as rain. The Ice Age continues to circulate through Earth's systems. The transition from frozen world to warmer planet teaches an important lesson. Change does not erase the past, it builds upon it. Every phase of Earth's history contributes to what exists today. The Ice Age shaped soil, climate, ecosystems, and human civilization. Without it, the modern world would look very different. As you imagine this slow warming process, picture glaciers melting gently into clear streams. See plants growing along riverbanks. Hear birds returning to new forests. Feel the warmth of sunlight touching land that was once frozen. Let these images calm your thoughts. Let your breathing slow. Let your body relax into stillness. In the next part, we will explore how Ice Age cycles continue to influence modern climate, how scientists study ancient ice, and how frozen records help us understand Earth's future. For now, rest in the gentle transition between cold and warmth. Allow the calm rhythm of planetary change to guide you softly towards sleep. Even after the great ice sheets retreated and warmer climates returned, the Ice Age never truly disappeared. Its influence remains quietly present in the world around us. Scientists today continue to study ancient ice to understand how Earth's climate changes over time. Deep within glaciers and polar ice caps, layers of frozen snow form natural archives. Each layer represents a year, a season, a moment in Earth's long history. By drilling ice cores and examining these frozen layers, researchers can read the planet's past like a book written in crystal. Inside these ice cores are tiny air bubbles, preserved perfectly for tens of thousands of years. These bubbles contain ancient atmospheres holding traces of carbon dioxide, oxygen, and other gases. By studying them, scientists learn how greenhouse gases changed during the Ice Age and how temperature shifts affected Earth's climate. This knowledge helps us understand not only the past, but also the future. Ice also preserves microscopic particles such as volcanic ash, dust, and pollen. These tiny fragments tell stories about distant eruptions, ancient forests, and long-forgotten ecosystems. Each grain of dust carries information about wind patterns, desert expansion, and atmospheric circulation during the Ice Age. Through careful study, scientists reconstruct detailed images of ancient environments. The Ice Age left behind frozen time capsules across the planet. In permafrost regions, entire plants and animals have been preserved in ice. Some have remained frozen for over 40,000 years. When scientists uncover these remains, they can study fur, skin, and even stomach contents. These discoveries offer rare glimpses into daily life in the frozen world. They reveal what animals ate, how they moved, and how they survived harsh conditions. Modern technology has allowed researchers to extract DNA from Ice Age specimens. By analyzing genetic material, scientists learn about ancient species, population changes, and evolutionary adaptation. This information helps protect modern ecosystems by showing how species responded to past climate shifts. The Ice Age becomes a guidebook for resilience. Even modern weather patterns still carry traces of Ice Age influence. Ocean currents shaped during cold periods continue to circulate heat around the planet. These currents regulate temperature, influence rainfall, and stabilize climate systems. Without these ancient patterns, modern weather would behave very differently. Mountain glaciers continue to store fresh water and release it slowly into rivers. In many regions, communities depend on glacier melt for drinking water, agriculture, and energy production. These frozen reservoirs act as natural water towers, feeding rivers during dry seasons. The Ice Age still provides water to millions of people today. Scientists also use Ice Age data to improve climate models. By comparing past climate transitions with current trends, researchers gain insight into how quickly Earth can change under certain conditions. This knowledge helps societies prepare for future environmental challenges. Ancient ice offers lessons about balance, feedback loops, and long-term stability. The Ice Age also influences Earth's magnetic and geological history. As massive ice sheets pressed down on land, they altered stress patterns in Earth's crust. This affected earthquake activity and volcanic behavior in some regions. Even today, land continues to slowly rise where ice once rested. This process, called post-glacial rebound, shows that Earth responds gradually to changes in surface weight. The memory of ice remains embedded deep within the planet. Another quiet gift of the Ice Age is scientific curiosity. The frozen world inspires exploration and discovery. Researchers travel to remote polar regions, climbing glaciers and drilling ice cores in extreme conditions. These expeditions are not driven by speed or profit, but by patience and dedication. Scientists often work in silence, surrounded by endless white landscapes, listening to the wind and ice beneath their feet. The Ice Age environment continues to teach humility. Standing on a glacier reminds humans of the planet's scale and power. Ice stretches for kilometers, moving slowly but persistently. It does not rush, yet it reshapes mountains. This teaches a valuable lesson about slow progress and long-term impact. Small changes repeated over time can transform entire worlds. The Ice Age also influences modern culture and art. Frozen landscapes inspire paintings, films, music, and literature. Stories of glaciers, snowfields, and ancient creatures capture imagination and evoke feelings of calm and wonder. Many people seek peaceful experiences in snowy environments, finding relaxation in winter silence and cold air. These emotional responses connect us to ancient environments, even if we've never lived through an ice age. Winter sports and activities such as skiing, snowshoeing, and ice skating also trace their roots to cold climate adaptation. Humans learned to move across snow and ice efficiently. These skills evolved into recreation, allowing people to experience the frozen world in gentle, playful ways. The Ice Age transformed survival techniques into modern leisure activities. The frozen past also influences architecture and engineering. In cold regions, buildings are designed to withstand freezing temperatures, snow loads, and shifting ground caused by permafrost. These designs are informed by knowledge gained from Ice Age landscapes. Engineers consider long-term environmental behavior when constructing roads, pipelines, and cities in polar areas. Education systems also incorporate Ice Age science into learning. Students study glaciology, climate cycles, and ancient ecosystems to understand Earth's history. These lessons promote awareness of environmental balance and sustainability. Understanding the Ice Age helps future generations appreciate the complexity of planetary systems. The Ice Age reminds humanity that climate is not static, it changes slowly but continuously. This perspective encourages long-term thinking rather than short-term reaction. It teaches patience and responsibility. By studying ancient ice, we learn how fragile and resilient the Earth can be at the same time. Even the sound of ice continues to influence modern science. Researchers use special instruments to listen to glaciers. They measure vibrations, cracking patterns, and movement speeds. These sounds help predict glacier behavior and potential hazards. Once again, ice communicates quietly, sharing information through subtle signals. The Ice Age also affects tourism. Many people travel to see glaciers, ice caves, and frozen landscapes. These journeys often create feelings of awe and calm. Standing before massive ice walls or walking through silent snowfields helps people slow down and reconnect with nature. The frozen world offers mental rest in a busy modern life. The relationship between humanity and ice continues to evolve. As climate changes, glaciers retreat again. This reminds us that Earth's systems remain dynamic. The Ice Age is not just a distant memory, it is part of an ongoing story. How humanity responds to these changes will shape the next chapter of planetary history. As you imagine scientists gently drilling ice cores, polar explorers walking across endless white plains, and glaciers slowly moving beneath starlit skies, allow your mind to rest. Let the quiet dedication of discovery calm your thoughts. Let the slow rhythm of ice guide your breathing. In the next part, we will explore how Ice Age knowledge helps protect the future, how ancient lessons shape modern decisions, and how frozen history continues to guide humanity forward. For now, remain still. Let the ancient ice hold your attention gently. Let calm surround you like soft falling snow. As humanity continues to learn from the frozen past, a deeper understanding begins to emerge about how the Ice Age shaped not only the planet, but the way life thinks, adapts, and survives. The slow rhythms of ice taught Earth a form of patience that still echoes through modern ecosystems. This patience is visible in forests that grow gradually over decades, in rivers that carve valleys over centuries, and in soil that forms grain by grain over thousands of years. The Ice Age did not teach speed. It taught endurance. One of the most powerful lessons hidden in the frozen world is the importance of balance. During the Ice Age, the planet existed in a delicate equilibrium between incoming sunlight, reflected energy, ocean circulation, and atmospheric composition. Small changes in any one of these systems could shift global temperatures, yet for long periods Earth maintained stability. This balance allowed glaciers to grow slowly without freezing the entire planet, and allowed life to persist even under extreme cold. This idea of balance appears everywhere in nature today. Forests regulate carbon dioxide, oceans absorb heat, ice reflects sunlight. These systems work together quietly, without direction or intention, yet they create harmony. The Ice Age reminds us that when balance is disturbed too quickly, the planet responds, sometimes gently, sometimes dramatically. Understanding this relationship helps humans recognize the value of protecting natural systems that evolved over millions of years. Another quiet influence of the Ice Age is the way it shaped human awareness of time. Early humans living near glaciers experienced seasons that lasted longer and changed more slowly. Winter dominated the calendar. Summer was brief and precious. This created a strong connection between survival and seasonal cycles. People learned to prepare far in advance, storing food, preserving resources, and planning movement according to weather patterns. This long-term thinking became part of human culture. Traditions formed around preparation, patience, and respect for natural cycles. Even today, agricultural calendars, seasonal holidays, and cultural rituals reflect ancient awareness of Earth's rhythms. The Ice Age shaped the idea that survival depends not on constant action, but on knowing when to act and when to wait. The frozen world also influenced the way humans developed tools and technology. Cold environments required creativity. People learned to make insulated clothing from animal fur, design shelters that trapped heat, and create fire efficiently using limited resources. These innovations did not appear suddenly. They evolved gradually, refined through experience and observation. This slow development created strong foundations for future technological progress. The Ice Age also encouraged cooperation. Survival in harsh conditions required shared labor and mutual support. Communities worked together to hunt, build shelters, and care for children and elders. Isolation was dangerous. Cooperation increased survival chances. This social adaptation strengthened human bonds and shaped the development of communication, language, and collective problem solving. These cooperative behaviors remain central to modern society. Even in advanced technological civilizations, collaboration remains essential. Large scientific projects, environmental protection efforts, and disaster response systems all rely on teamwork. The Ice Age helped teach humanity that strength often comes from unity rather than individual power. Another subtle influence of the Ice Age is emotional connection to natural silence. Frozen landscapes created vast, quiet spaces where sound traveled softly and slowly. Without constant noise, people became more aware of subtle environmental signals. The sound of wind direction, the cracking of ice, the movement of animals, and the change in temperature all provided information. This heightened awareness strengthened the connection between humans and their surroundings. Today, many people seek similar quiet environments to relax and restore mental balance. Snow-covered forests, frozen lakes, and mountain glaciers attract visitors searching for peace. This attraction may be rooted in ancient memory, passed down through generations. The calm of ice resonates deeply with human psychology. The Ice Age also shaped Earth's visual identity. The colors of frozen landscapes influence perception of beauty. White snowfields, blue ice, silver moonlight, and pale skies created soft visual palettes. These colors appear frequently in art, photography, and design. They evoke feelings of calm, simplicity, and openness. The frozen world continues to inspire creative expression. Even the movement patterns of animals influenced human understanding of navigation and geography. Following herds taught early humans how to read terrain, locate water sources, and understand seasonal migration routes. These skills later evolved into mapping, exploration, and trade networks. The Ice Age indirectly contributed to humanity's ability to travel long distances and connect distant regions. The relationship between ice and water also created an understanding of transformation. People observed snow melting into streams, streams feeding rivers, and rivers reaching oceans. This cycle demonstrated that nothing is truly lost, it only changes form. Ice becomes water, water becomes clouds, clouds become snow again. This continuous movement of matter created early philosophical ideas about renewal and continuity. This concept remains calming even today. The idea that change is natural and cyclical helps reduce fear of transformation. The Ice Age shows that the planet itself transforms without panic. It adapts, it adjusts, it continues forward. Another important influence of the Ice Age is the development of long-term memory through storytelling. Without written language, early humans passed knowledge orally. Stories preserved survival techniques, migration routes, weather patterns, and animal behavior. These stories were often told around fires during long winter nights. The quiet environment encouraged listening and reflection. This tradition strengthened memory and imagination. It created cultural continuity across generations. Even today, storytelling remains one of humanity's strongest tools for preserving knowledge and emotion. The Ice Age shaped this tradition by creating conditions where shared stories became essential. The frozen world also taught respect for limited resources. Food was not always abundant. Warm materials were precious. Shelter was essential. This scarcity encouraged careful use of resources and avoidance of waste. Every part of hunted animals was used. Bones became tools. Skins became clothing. Fat became fuel. Nothing was discarded carelessly. This mindset of resource efficiency offers valuable lessons for modern society. In a world of abundance, waste often increases. The Ice Age reminds humanity that sustainability is not a modern invention. It is an ancient survival strategy. Another lasting effect of the Ice Age is the human fascination with ancient creatures. Mammoths, saber-toothed cats, giant sloths, and prehistoric animals continue to capture imagination. Museums, documentaries, and books explore these creatures not only for scientific knowledge, but for emotional connection to deep time. These animals represent resilience and adaptation in extreme environments. The Ice Age also shaped human curiosity about extinction and survival. Seeing large animals disappear taught early humans that environments change and species are not permanent. This awareness may have influenced early thinking about responsibility toward nature and the importance of protecting ecosystems. Even modern science continues to return to the Ice Age for answers. Climate researchers, geologists, biologists, and archaeologists all study frozen history to understand Earth's future. Ancient ice becomes a teacher, offering lessons written in crystal layers and frozen air bubbles. As you imagine this long chain of influence, stretching from frozen plains to modern cities, allow yourself to feel the slow continuity of time. The Ice Age was not an isolated event. It is part of an ongoing story that connects past, present, and future. Let your breathing remain slow and steady. Picture a quiet glacier under soft moonlight. Feel the stillness of cold air. Sense the patience of ancient ice. The frozen world continues to speak, not loudly, but gently. It speaks through landscapes, through water cycles, through human culture, and through scientific discovery. And as this quiet message flows through your thoughts, allow your mind to rest within it. Let the calm of deep time carry you gently forward. As time continues its slow movement forward, the influence of the Ice Age extends beyond land, water, and life, reaching into the way humans understand existence itself. The frozen world encourages reflection. It teaches that not all progress is fast, and not all change is loud. Some of the most powerful transformations happen quietly, beneath layers of snow and ice. unfolding over centuries without drawing attention. One of the most peaceful aspects of the Ice Age is the way it reshaped humanity's relationship with stillness. In cold environments, unnecessary movement wastes energy. Rest becomes valuable. Silence becomes meaningful. People learned to listen more carefully, to observe subtle changes in weather, animal behavior, and seasonal shifts. This heightened awareness created a deeper connection between humans and their surroundings. Even today, many people feel a sense of calm when surrounded by snow-covered landscapes. The quiet seems to slow the mind, allowing thoughts to settle gently. The frozen world also shaped the idea of shelter as a place of comfort rather than mere protection. During long winters, early humans spent extended time indoors, gathered around fires. These spaces became centers of warmth, storytelling, and social bonding. The concept of home as a peaceful refuge may have grown stronger during Ice Age conditions. Warm light against cold darkness created emotional contrast, strengthening feelings of safety and belonging. Another lasting influence of the Ice Age is the way it shaped humanity's understanding of endurance. Cold environments require persistence rather than speed. Progress comes from consistent effort, careful planning, and the ability to adapt to slow change. This mindset influenced how people approach challenges, encouraging resilience instead of impatience. The frozen world taught that survival is not always about strength, but about persistence. The Ice Age also shaped human creativity. With limited resources and harsh conditions, people learned to innovate. They used natural materials in efficient ways, creating tools, clothing, and shelters adapted to cold environments. This creativity was not driven by competition, but by necessity. Over time, these innovations accumulated, forming the foundation of technological development. The frozen past quietly contributed to the invention of needles, weaving techniques, insulated footwear, and layered clothing systems that remain in use today. The environment also influenced human movement patterns. Long winters encouraged shorter travel distances and longer stays in protected areas. When warmer seasons arrived, people moved again following animals and plants. This rhythm created a balance between movement and rest. It taught flexibility. Sometimes the best decision was to stay. Sometimes it was time to travel. Learning when to pause and when to move became essential survival knowledge. The Ice Age also shaped early human diets. Cold climates required high-energy food sources. Fat-rich foods became important. Preservation techniques, such as drying and freezing, emerged naturally. These methods allowed food to last longer through winter months. Modern food preservation methods still reflect these ancient practices. Freezing food, drying herbs, and storing supplies for later use are habits rooted in Ice Age survival strategies. Another gentle lesson from the frozen world is the importance of adaptability. As climate shifted slowly, humans adjusted their tools, clothing, shelters, and behaviors. They did not resist change, they learned to move with it. This adaptability remains one of humanity's greatest strengths. The Ice Age demonstrates that rigid systems struggle, while flexible systems survive. The Ice Age also influenced how humans viewed the sky. Long winter nights created extended periods of darkness, offering more time to observe stars and celestial movement. People learned to track constellations, seasonal star patterns, and the movement of the moon. This knowledge helped with navigation, timekeeping, and seasonal planning. The frozen world encouraged humans to look upward, strengthening early astronomy traditions. Even spiritual beliefs may have been shaped by Ice Age conditions. Harsh environments often lead people to reflect on forces beyond immediate control. Cold, storms, and seasonal cycles may have inspired early ideas about natural spirits, cosmic balance, and the power of the earth. While belief systems evolved differently across cultures, the shared experience of extreme environments likely influenced how humans understood nature and existence. The Ice Age also created a sense of humility. Standing before massive glaciers and endless snowfields reminded people of their small size compared to the planet. This awareness encouraged respect for natural forces. It discouraged reckless behavior and promoted caution. Even today, people standing near glaciers often feel quiet awe. The frozen world inspires reflection without words. Another subtle influence is the way Ice Age landscapes shaped sound perception. Snow absorbs sound, creating softer acoustics. This environment reduces echoes and sharp noise. People living in snowy regions often experience deeper silence. This silence can be calming, allowing the mind to relax. It may explain why many people associate snowfall with peace and rest. The Ice Age also affected sleep patterns. Long nights encouraged extended sleep and rest periods. People followed natural light cycles rather than artificial schedules. This alignment with natural rhythms supported physical recovery and mental clarity. Modern research shows that consistent sleep patterns improve health and emotional balance. The frozen world naturally encouraged this behavior. The influence of ice also extends to modern science communication. Images of glaciers, frozen lakes, and ancient landscapes capture attention and inspire curiosity. These visuals help people understand climate history and environmental change. The Ice Age serves as a powerful educational tool, connecting scientific data with emotional experience. The frozen world continues to shape global cooperation. Polar research often involves international teams working together in extreme environments. Scientists from different countries share data, equipment, and expertise. This collaboration reflects the idea that understanding Earth's past benefits all humanity. The Ice Age encourages unity through shared scientific curiosity. Another lasting effect is the way Ice Age knowledge influences environmental protection efforts. Understanding how ecosystems responded to past climate shifts helps guide conservation strategies today. Protecting forests, wetlands, and polar regions becomes part of preserving planetary balance. The frozen past teaches that stability depends on healthy natural systems. The Ice Age also shaped the human relationship with water. Meltwater rivers became vital resources. Lakes formed by glaciers became centers of settlement. Even today, communities depend on water sources shaped by ancient ice. This connection encourages respect for freshwater systems and careful management of water resources. The frozen world also left its mark on language and symbolism. Words related to cold, ice, and snow appear in many cultures as metaphors for calm, stillness, and purity. These symbolic meanings reflect emotional associations formed over thousands of years of interaction with cold environments. The Ice Age continues to influence architecture in cold regions. Buildings are designed to maximize insulation, capture sunlight, and protect against wind. These techniques are rooted in ancient survival strategies adapted for modern use. Even urban design reflects lessons learned from frozen landscapes. As you reflect on these quiet influences, imagine a snowy forest at dawn. Light filters gently through frost-covered branches. The air is still. Everything feels balanced. This peaceful scene reflects the deeper lesson of the Ice Age, that calm environments shape calm minds. Allow this image to settle into your thoughts. Let your breathing slow naturally. Feel the quiet rhythm of ancient seasons moving through time. The frozen world does not rush. It invites stillness. It encourages patience. And as this calm presence surrounds you, let your mind drift gently, following the slow path of ice and time, resting in the peaceful continuity of Earth's long history. As the story of the Ice Age continues to unfold through time, it becomes clear that its greatest gift may not be physical landscapes or preserved fossils, but perspective. The frozen world teaches humanity how small moments connect to long cycles, how gentle changes accumulate into powerful transformations, and how patience can create stability in an ever-moving universe. One of the quiet lessons of the Ice Age is the value of observation. In cold environments, survival depended on noticing subtle details, the colour of the sky before snowfall, the shape of clouds forming over distant mountains, the behaviour of animals sensing approaching storms. These small signs carried important information. People learned to slow down and pay attention. This habit of careful observation became the foundation of scientific thinking. Even today, scientists studying ice cores, glaciers and climate patterns rely on the same principle. Small details reveal large truths. The Ice Age also influenced humanity's relationship with uncertainty. Living in harsh conditions meant accepting that not everything could be controlled. Weather could change, food could become scarce, migration routes could shift. Instead of resisting uncertainty, people learned to adapt to it. This acceptance reduced fear and encouraged flexibility. The frozen world taught that uncertainty is part of life, not an enemy to be defeated, but a condition to be navigated calmly. Another subtle influence is the way the Ice Age shaped emotional resilience. Long winters required mental strength as much as physical endurance. Darkness lasted longer, isolation increased, movement became limited. People developed ways to maintain emotional balance through routine, storytelling, music, and shared rituals. These practices provided comfort and structure during extended periods of cold and quiet. They strengthened community bonds and created emotional stability that supported survival. This emotional resilience remains important today. Modern life may not involve glaciers and frozen plains, but it presents its own challenges. The Ice Age reminds humanity that inner calm can be cultivated even in difficult environments. Rest, connection, and meaningful routine remain powerful tools for mental well-being. The frozen world also shaped humanity's relationship with light. During long winter nights, fire became a central source of warmth and illumination. The soft glow of flames created peaceful gathering spaces where people shared stories and knowledge. This warm light against cold darkness created a powerful contrast that strengthened emotional comfort. Even today, candlelight and fireplaces evoke similar feelings of calm and safety, connecting modern experiences with ancient memory. The Ice Age also influenced how humans understood the passage of time. Without clocks, people measured time through natural markers: sunrise and sunset, moon phases, snowfall patterns, animal migrations, and seasonal plant growth. This natural timekeeping created a deep connection with Earth's rhythms. People learned to move with time rather than against it. This slow awareness reduced stress and encouraged patience. Modern society often moves quickly, driven by schedules and deadlines. The Ice Age offers a reminder that time does not need to be rushed. Slowing down can improve focus, creativity, and emotional balance. Ancient rhythms still exist beneath modern life, waiting to be noticed. The frozen world also influenced human movement in subtle ways. Walking on snow requires balance and careful steps. Slipping wastes energy and risks injury. Over time, people learned to move more deliberately. This careful movement encouraged body awareness and coordination. Even today, activities such as hiking in snow or walking on ice require mindfulness, encouraging slower and more intentional motion. Another influence of the Ice Age is the way it shaped humanity's appreciation for warmth. When cold dominates daily life, warmth becomes precious. A sunny day, a warm fire, or a sheltered space brings deep comfort. This appreciation creates gratitude for simple experiences. Even now, many people feel a special sense of joy when sunlight breaks through clouds on a cold day. This emotional response reflects ancient memory. The Ice Age also shaped the way humans approached cooperation across generations. Knowledge about survival techniques, migration routes, and seasonal patterns needed to be passed down accurately. Elders became important sources of wisdom. Young people learned by observing and listening. This intergenerational connection strengthened family structures and cultural continuity. This respect for experience and shared learning remains valuable today. Societies grow stronger when knowledge flows freely between generations. The frozen world taught that memory itself can be a survival tool. Another quiet influence is the way the Ice Age shaped artistic expression. Cave paintings, carvings, and symbolic objects created during cold periods often depict animals, landscapes, and abstract patterns. These artworks served multiple purposes. They preserved memory, they communicated information, they expressed emotion. Creating art in harsh environments may have helped people process fear, uncertainty, and isolation. It provided a creative outlet that brought meaning to difficult conditions. Art continues to serve this purpose today. People create music, paintings, and stories to express emotions and connect with others. The Ice Age may have strengthened this human need for creative expression as a form of emotional balance. The frozen world also shaped the way humans understood travel and distance. During Ice Age periods, land bridges connected continents, allowing migration across vast regions. People walked slowly across frozen plains, carrying knowledge and culture with them. These journeys created connections between distant populations. They shaped genetic diversity and cultural exchange. Humanity became a traveling species, adapting to new environments along the way. Even today, global movement and cultural exchange reflect this ancient tradition of migration. The Ice Age helped establish humanity's identity as explorers, capable of adapting to new landscapes. Another influence of the Ice Age is the development of quiet problem solving. In cold environments, loud movement or reckless action could waste energy or attract danger. Solutions needed to be efficient and thoughtful. This encouraged strategic thinking. Planning hunts, building shelters, and storing food required careful consideration. These problem-solving skills evolved over generations, forming the foundation of human intelligence. The frozen world also influenced how people perceived the horizon. Wide open snowfields created endless views of land and sky. This openness may have inspired curiosity and exploration. Looking across vast frozen plains encouraged thoughts about distant places and unknown lands. It strengthened imagination and the desire to understand what lies beyond visible boundaries. The Ice Age also shaped the way humans valued stability. Sudden environmental changes could be dangerous. Stable shelter, reliable food sources, and predictable routines provided safety. This preference for stability influenced the development of permanent settlements once climates warmed. People sought to recreate secure environments where families could grow and communities could thrive. Another subtle lesson from the Ice Age is the importance of harmony between humans and nature. Survival depended on respecting animal behavior, seasonal patterns, and environmental limits. Overhunting or resource waste could threaten entire communities. This awareness encouraged sustainable practices long before modern environmental science existed. The frozen world teaches that long-term survival requires balance rather than dominance. Cooperation with nature, rather than control over it, leads to stability. As you imagine these quiet influences spreading across time, picture a wide, snowy plain under a pale sunrise. The sky slowly brightens, the land remains still. Everything feels balanced and calm. Allow this image to rest in your mind. Let your breathing slow further. Feel the gentle rhythm of ancient seasons moving softly through your thoughts. The Ice Age continues to speak, not through noise or urgency, but through patience, balance, and quiet transformation. And as this message flows gently through your awareness, allow yourself to relax deeper, carried by the slow and steady rhythm of Earth's long history. As the long memory of the Ice Age continues to shape the present, it becomes clear that the frozen world left behind something even more lasting than physical traces. It left a way of thinking, a quiet philosophy of patience, observation, balance, and endurance that continues to influence how humans interact with the planet and with themselves. One of the deepest lessons of the Ice Age is the understanding that survival is not always about strength. In cold environments, raw power is less useful than efficiency. Conserving energy, choosing the right moment to act, and avoiding unnecessary risk become essential. This mindset shaped early human behavior and still appears in modern problem solving. People learn that slowing down, planning carefully, and acting with intention often produce better results than rushing forward without thought. The frozen world also taught humanity how to live with cycles. Ice advanced and retreated. Seasons changed. Animals migrated and returned. Plants grew and rested. Nothing stayed permanent, yet nothing disappeared completely. Everything moved in patterns. This awareness encouraged acceptance of change as a natural process rather than a threat. It created emotional flexibility, allowing people to adapt instead of resist. Even today, many people find comfort in seasonal rhythms, the return of spring, the calm of autumn, the quiet of winter nights, and the warmth of summer days. All carry emotional meaning. These feelings are rooted in ancient experiences shaped by Ice Age conditions. The planet trained humanity to feel time, not just measure it. The Ice Age also shaped humanity's sense of community. Long winters required shared warmth and cooperation. People gathered together for protection, food sharing, and emotional support. Isolation became dangerous, while togetherness increased survival chances. This strengthened social bonds and created early forms of collective identity. Modern society still depends on cooperation. Even with advanced technology, humans rely on shared infrastructure, communication networks, and mutual support. The frozen world reminds us that independence has limits, and connection is a source of stability. Another influence of the Ice Age is the way it shaped the human relationship with risk. In cold environments, reckless behavior could lead to serious consequences. Falling into icy water, traveling during storms, or wasting resources could be fatal. This encouraged careful decision-making and respect for environmental signals. People learned to read warning signs and adjust behavior accordingly. This cautious awareness remains valuable today. Whether facing natural disasters, environmental changes, or personal challenges, the ability to recognize risk and respond calmly improves outcomes. The Ice Age helped develop this instinct. The frozen world also influenced the way humans approached learning. Survival knowledge was essential and needed to be shared accurately. Teaching became an important social function. Elders passed down skills, children learned through observation and practice, and mistakes were corrected gently but firmly. This created strong learning traditions based on experience rather than abstract theory. Education today still benefits from this approach. Learning through observation, repetition, and practical experience remains one of the most effective methods. The Ice Age contributed to this foundation. Another subtle influence is the way cold environments shaped emotional expression. Harsh conditions often limit excessive emotional displays. Energy must be conserved. Calm behavior becomes practical. This does not remove emotion, but it encourages controlled expression. Quiet moments of connection, gentle communication, and shared silence become meaningful. Many people today find comfort in quiet companionship. Sitting together without speaking, sharing peaceful environments, or enjoying silence can create strong emotional bonds. This preference may trace back to ancient cold environments where quiet cooperation was essential. The Ice Age also shaped humanity's relationship with distance and travel. Cold conditions made long journeys difficult and risky. When people travelled, they did so with purpose. Routes were planned carefully. Stops were chosen strategically. This encouraged thoughtful exploration rather than impulsive movement. As climates warmed and travel became easier, this planning mindset remained. Trade routes, migration paths, and exploration efforts were built on careful preparation. The frozen world helped establish the discipline of intentional travel. Another lasting effect is the way Ice Age conditions shaped food culture. Preservation methods developed out of necessity. Drying, smoking, freezing, and fermenting allowed food to last through long winters. These techniques improved food security and reduced waste. Many modern cuisines still rely on preservation methods developed during cold periods. These practices also created social traditions. Shared meals, winter feasts, and communal food preparation strengthened social bonds. Food became not only nourishment, but a symbol of cooperation and survival. The Ice Age also influenced the human sense of space. Frozen landscapes created wide-open environments with long sightlines. People could see far across plains and valleys. This openness encouraged spatial awareness and navigation skills. Learning to recognize landmarks, track movement across snow, and orient using stars strengthened cognitive mapping abilities. Modern navigation, mapping, and exploration skills are built upon these ancient foundations. The frozen world helped develop the human ability to understand large-scale environments. Another quiet influence is the way Ice Age conditions shaped emotional attachment to natural beauty. Snow-covered mountains, frozen lakes, and icy forests create strong emotional responses. These landscapes evoke calm, awe, and reflection. Many people today seek out cold environments for relaxation and inspiration. This emotional attraction suggests that the frozen world left a lasting imprint on human perception. Ice is not only associated with danger or hardship, it is also connected to beauty and peace. The Ice Age also influenced humanity's understanding of scarcity and abundance. During cold periods, resources could become limited. When abundance returned in warmer seasons, it was appreciated more deeply. This contrast created gratitude for simple things such as warmth, food, and shelter. Modern society often experiences constant availability, which can reduce appreciation. The frozen world reminds us that gratitude grows when we recognize the effort required to maintain comfort. Another lesson from the Ice Age is the value of preparation. People learned to store food, repair shelters, prepare clothing, and plan for winter long before cold arrived. This proactive mindset increased survival chances. Preparation became a form of security. This lesson applies today in many areas of life. Planning ahead, saving resources, and building resilience reduce stress and increase stability. The Ice Age taught humanity that readiness creates peace of mind. The frozen world also influenced humanity's sense of humility. Standing before massive glaciers and endless snowfields made individuals aware of their small size in the larger world. This awareness encouraged respect for nature and caution in decision-making. It discouraged arrogance and promoted careful behavior. Humility remains an important quality in modern society. Recognizing limits, accepting uncertainty, and respecting complexity lead to wiser choices. Another influence is the way Ice Age conditions shaped sleep patterns. Long nights encouraged extended rest. People aligned sleep with darkness and daylight. This natural rhythm supported physical recovery and mental clarity. Modern research confirms that consistent sleep patterns improve health. The frozen world naturally encouraged these rhythms long before artificial lighting existed. The Ice Age also shaped humanity's relationship with silence. Quiet environments allowed reflection, concentration, and emotional processing. Silence was not empty, it was full of subtle sound and meaning. Many people today seek silence to reduce stress and improve focus. This desire may be connected to ancient experiences in cold environments. As you reflect on these gentle influences, imagine a quiet winter evening. Snow falls softly outside. Warm light glows inside a small shelter. People rest together in silence, breathing slowly, feeling safe and calm. Allow this image to settle into your thoughts. Let your breathing remain slow and steady. Feel the calm rhythm of ancient time moving gently forward. The Ice Age was not only a period of cold, it was a teacher. It taught patience, cooperation, balance, and endurance. And these lessons continue to shape the human story, quietly guiding the way forward through time. As the influence of the Ice Age continues to echo through human history, another quiet truth becomes clear. The frozen world did not only shape survival strategies or physical adaptation, it shaped the inner landscape of the human mind. It encouraged reflection, patience, and an awareness of long time scales that modern life often forgets. One of the most meaningful lessons from the Ice Age is the understanding of slow reward. In cold environments, effort does not always bring immediate results. Preparing food, building shelters, and storing supplies require work long before the benefits appear. People learn to invest energy in the present for safety in the future. This created a mindset focused on long-term thinking rather than instant satisfaction. This way of thinking is still valuable today. Many of the most important achievements in life require steady effort over time. Education, health, creativity, and personal growth all follow this pattern. The Ice Age quietly taught humanity that patience creates stability. The frozen world also encouraged careful emotional regulation. Extreme cold and limited resources required calm decision-making. Panic wasted energy, fear clouded judgment. People learned to remain composed even in difficult situations. This emotional discipline helped communities survive harsh winters and unpredictable conditions. Modern psychology recognizes the importance of emotional regulation for mental well-being. The ability to remain calm under stress improves problem solving and reduces anxiety. The Ice Age created environments where this skill was not optional, it was necessary. Another subtle influence is the way the Ice Age shaped humanity's relationship with hope. Long winters tested endurance, yet people knew that warmer seasons would return. This expectation created quiet optimism. Even during the coldest nights, there was an understanding that change was coming. This belief helped people continue forward without losing motivation. Hope grounded in natural cycles is different from unrealistic optimism. It is steady and patient. It does not rush. It waits with confidence. The frozen world taught this form of hope, one based on rhythm rather than speed. The Ice Age also shaped the way humans learned to observe cause and effect. People noticed how small changes in weather affected animal movement, plant growth, and water availability. These observations helped to predict future conditions. This early form of pattern recognition became the foundation of scientific reasoning. Today, science continues to rely on this same principle. Careful observation, data collection, and pattern analysis help us understand complex systems. The frozen past strengthened humanity's ability to see connections between events separated by time. Another quiet influence is the way cold environments shaped respect for preparation rituals. Seasonal preparation became part of culture. People prepared clothing, tools, and food supplies before winter arrived. These routines created a sense of order and predictability. They reduced uncertainty and stress. Modern routines serve similar purposes. Daily habits, schedules, and preparation rituals create stability in busy lives. The Ice Age showed that structure can provide comfort when external conditions are unpredictable. The frozen world also influenced the development of quiet leadership. In harsh environments, leaders needed to make careful decisions that affected group survival. Authority was often based on experience, knowledge, and calm judgment, rather than force. Respect was earned through wisdom and reliability. This model of leadership remains relevant today. Effective leaders often demonstrate patience, emotional stability, and long-term vision. The Ice Age helped establish these values through necessity. Another influence is the way Ice Age conditions shaped human memory systems. Important information needed to be remembered accurately. Migration routes, hunting techniques, and environmental signs had to be passed down reliably. Memory became a survival skill. This encouraged the development of storytelling techniques, repetition, and symbolic representation to preserve knowledge. Modern education still uses these methods. Stories, repetition, and visual symbols help people remember complex information. The frozen world strengthened humanity's natural memory strategies. The Ice Age also shaped how humans understood the value of rest. During long winters, activity naturally decreased. People slept more, moved less, and conserved energy. Rest was not laziness, it was survival. This created a natural balance between activity and recovery. Modern life often undervalues rest, yet scientific research confirms that rest improves physical health, mental clarity, and emotional balance. The frozen world reminds humanity that rest is essential, not optional. Another subtle lesson from the Ice Age is the importance of adaptability without resistance. When climates shifted, people adjusted their behavior instead of trying to force the environment to change. They moved when necessary, altered diets, and changed shelter designs. This flexible approach increased survival chances. Adaptability remains one of humanity's strongest strengths, whether facing technological change, environmental challenges, or personal transitions. Flexibility allows smoother adjustment. The Ice Age trained humanity in this skill through continuous environmental change. The frozen world also influenced humanity's relationship with quiet celebration. When resources were limited, celebrations focused on simple pleasures. Warm meals, shared stories, music, and companionship became meaningful events. These moments of connection provided emotional nourishment. Today, people often associate celebration with excess. The Ice Age offers an alternative perspective. Joy can come from simplicity, warmth, and shared presence. This understanding encourages mindfulness and appreciation. Another lasting influence is the way Ice Age conditions shaped the human sense of responsibility. Decisions affected not only individuals, but entire communities. Wasting resources, ignoring warning signs, or acting selfishly could harm others. This created awareness of collective responsibility. Modern society continues to face similar challenges. Environmental protection, public health, and social stability all depend on shared responsibility. The frozen world taught that survival is a collective effort. The Ice Age also shaped humanity's relationship with natural boundaries. Frozen rivers, snow-covered mountains, and icy oceans created physical limits. People learned to respect these boundaries and navigate around them carefully. This awareness encouraged strategic planning and cautious exploration. Respecting boundaries remains important today, whether in environmental protection, personal limits, or social interactions. Understanding when to pause and when to proceed helps maintain balance. Another influence is the way cold environments shaped sensory awareness. Reduced noise allowed people to notice subtle sounds. Clear skies revealed detailed star patterns. Cold air sharpened scent and touch. This heightened sensory experience created deeper connection with surroundings. Modern life often overwhelms the senses with noise and stimulation. The calm of Ice Age environments reminds humanity of the value of simplicity and sensory clarity. The frozen world also influenced the development of quiet rituals. Lighting fires, preparing food, sharing stories, and resting together created daily rhythms that brought comfort and structure. These rituals strengthened community bonds and emotional stability. Even today, people find comfort in daily routines. Morning coffee, evening walks, reading before sleep, and family meals provide a sense of continuity. These habits reflect ancient survival rhythms. Another lesson from the Ice Age is the understanding that progress does not need to be constant. periods of rest and reflection are as important as periods of growth. Winter and summer, activity and rest, movement and stillness all belong to the same cycle. This balance helps prevent exhaustion and burnout. The frozen world demonstrates that sustainable progress includes pauses. As you imagine these quiet lessons passing through generations, picture a long winter evening. Outside, snow covers the land. Inside, warmth fills the room. People sit quietly, listening to the sound of fire and wind. Time feels slow and gentle. Allow this calm image to rest in your thoughts. Let your breathing remain steady. Feel the peaceful rhythm of ancient seasons continuing to move softly forward. The Ice Age did not only shape the Earth, it shaped the way humans think, feel, and relate to time. And these influences remain present, quietly guiding humanity through the slow unfolding of life. As the quiet influence of the Ice Age continues to ripple through time, it becomes clear that the frozen world shaped not only survival and culture, but also humanity's understanding of meaning and purpose. When life is surrounded by cold, darkness, and long seasons of waiting, people naturally begin to reflect more deeply. Silence invites thought. Stillness encourages awareness. The Ice Age created an environment where reflection became part of daily life. One of the most gentle lessons from this period is the idea that meaning does not always come from constant achievement. In harsh environments, survival itself becomes meaningful. Small victories such as finding shelter, sharing food, or staying warm through the night carry emotional weight. These simple moments of stability create a sense of purpose rooted in care and responsibility rather than ambition. This perspective still resonates today. Many people discover that fulfillment often comes not from endless productivity, but from moments of connection, rest, and presence. The frozen world taught humanity that being alive, safe, and together can be enough. The Ice Age also shaped humanity's relationship with patience on a spiritual level. Waiting for seasons to change required trust in natural rhythms. People learned that not everything could be forced. Snow would melt when the time was right. Animals would return when conditions allowed. This created quiet faith in the future, built on observation rather than belief alone. This form of trust encourages emotional stability. It reduces anxiety about immediate outcomes and strengthens confidence in long-term processes. The Ice Age trained humans to live with uncertainty without panic. Another subtle influence is the way cold environments shaped gratitude. When warmth and food were not guaranteed, their arrival brought deep appreciation. A warm fire after a cold day felt comforting. A successful hunt brought relief. A clear sky after a storm felt peaceful. These experiences created emotional contrast that strengthened gratitude. Modern life often reduces this contrast through constant comfort. The frozen world reminds humanity that appreciation grows when effort and patience are involved. Gratitude becomes deeper when survival is not taken for granted. The Ice Age also influenced humanity's understanding of belonging. Communities formed tight social bonds because cooperation was essential. People depended on each other for warmth, food, and safety. This interdependence created strong emotional ties and a sense of shared identity. Belonging is still a fundamental human need. Feeling connected to others provides emotional security and stability. The frozen world strengthened this instinct through necessity. Another influence of the Ice Age is the way it shaped human imagination. Long nights and quiet surroundings allowed space for thought and storytelling. Without constant distraction, the mind wandered freely. People imagined distant lands, ancient creatures, and future possibilities. These mental journeys helped pass time and created rich internal worlds. Imagination remains an important source of creativity today. Art, literature, and innovation all depend on the ability to visualize possibilities beyond immediate reality. The Ice Age provided an environment where imagination could grow naturally. The frozen world also influenced humanity's relationship with the concept of home. Shelter became more than protection. It became a place of warmth, safety, and emotional comfort. Home represented stability in an unpredictable environment. This emotional association remains strong today. People seek homes that provide peace and security, reflecting ancient survival needs. Another gentle lesson from the Ice Age is the importance of simplicity. In cold environments, excess possessions become burdens. Carrying too much weight makes movement difficult. People learn to prioritize essential tools and materials. This encouraged minimalism and efficiency. This principle remains valuable today. Simpler lifestyles often reduce stress and increase clarity. The frozen world taught humanity to focus on what truly matters. The Ice Age also shaped the way humans understood time as layered rather than linear. Ice preserved past seasons beneath new layers. Snow fell on old snow, years stacked upon years. This created a visible representation of time accumulating. People learned that the present is built on the past, and the future will build on the present. This layered view of time encourages responsibility. Actions today affect future generations. The frozen world demonstrated this concept physically through ice layers that preserved history. Another influence is the way Ice Age conditions shaped emotional resilience through routine. Daily tasks such as gathering fuel, preparing food, repairing shelter, and caring for others created structure. This structure reduced uncertainty and anxiety. Routine provided comfort in unpredictable environments. Modern psychology confirms that routine supports mental health. Regular sleep, meals, and daily habits create stability. The frozen world helped establish this understanding naturally. The Ice Age also shaped humanity's relationship with nature as teacher rather than enemy. People learned by watching animals, observing weather patterns, and studying seasonal changes. Nature provided guidance. This created respect rather than domination. This perspective remains important today as societies reconsider their relationship with the environment. The frozen past reminds humanity that learning from nature leads to sustainability. Another subtle influence is the way Ice Age conditions shaped emotional expression through quiet gestures rather than grand displays. Sharing food, offering warmth, and providing shelter became powerful acts of care. These simple actions communicated compassion without words. Modern relationships still rely on small acts of kindness. The frozen world reinforced the value of quiet generosity. The Ice Age also influenced humanity's understanding of limits. Physical endurance, resource availability, and environmental conditions all imposed boundaries. Learning to work within these limits encouraged humility and creativity. People did not try to control everything. They adapted to what was possible. This lesson applies today in many areas of life. Accepting limits helps reduce frustration and encourages realistic planning. Another influence is the way cold environments shaped the human sense of calm presence. Without constant movement or stimulation, people spent more time simply being, sitting quietly, watching firelight, observing snowfall, and listening to wind-created moments of mindfulness long before the concept existed. These quiet moments allowed the nervous system to rest. They created mental clarity and emotional balance. Modern mindfulness practices reflect this ancient experience. The Ice Age also shaped humanity's understanding of legacy. Knowledge, tools, and stories were passed down carefully. People knew that survival depended on preserving information for future generations. This created respect for memory and tradition. This respect continues today through education, archives, and cultural preservation. The frozen world taught humanity that memory itself is a form of survival. Another gentle lesson is the importance of acceptance. Not every winter could be avoided. Not every storm could be prevented. People learned to accept difficult conditions without surrendering hope. acceptance created emotional strength. This ability to accept what cannot be changed while focusing on what can be influenced remains essential for mental well-being. The Ice Age also shaped humanity's relationship with quiet beauty. Frost patterns on leaves, snow crystals, frozen lakes reflecting stars, and glowing auroras created natural art. These scenes inspired awe and appreciation. Beauty was found even in harsh environments. This teaches that beauty does not depend on comfort alone. It can exist in simplicity, silence, and stillness. As you imagine these quiet lessons flowing through generations, picture a calm winter morning. Soft light touches snow-covered trees. The air is still. Everything feels balanced. Allow this image to settle gently in your mind. Let your breathing remain slow and steady. Feel the peaceful rhythm of ancient seasons continuing to move softly forward. The Ice Age did not only shape landscapes, it shaped the inner world of humanity, teaching patience, gratitude, reflection, and calm awareness. These lessons remain alive, quietly guiding the rhythm of human experience through time. As the long influence of the Ice Age continues to unfold across generations, it becomes clear that the frozen world also shaped humanity's sense of responsibility toward the future. Living in environments where preparation determined survival encouraged people to think beyond the present moment. Decisions were not made only for today, they were made for the next season, the next winter, and the next generation. This forward-looking mindset created a quiet form of wisdom built on care and foresight. One of the most important lessons from the Ice Age is the understanding that small actions accumulate into large outcomes. Gathering extra fuel, storing a little more food, repairing shelter before storms arrived, and maintaining tools all seemed like minor tasks. Yet over time, these habits created stability. The frozen world showed that consistency matters more than intensity. Repeated, gentle effort builds resilience. This lesson applies to modern life as well. Health, learning, creativity, and emotional well-being all grow through small daily actions. The Ice Age quietly taught humanity that long-term success is created through steady care rather than sudden bursts of effort. The frozen world also shaped the human relationship with responsibility toward others. Survival in cold environments depended on collective safety. When one person struggled, the group responded. Sharing warmth, food, and protection was not optional. It was essential. This created a deep sense of mutual responsibility that strengthened communities. This idea remains relevant today. Societies thrive when people care for one another, support vulnerable members, and work together during difficult times. The Ice Age reinforced that survival is rarely individual, it is shared. Another influence of the Ice Age is the way it shaped humanity's understanding of preparation without anxiety. People prepared calmly, knowing that winter would come. They did not panic. They accepted seasonal cycles and responded with quiet organization. This approach created emotional stability even in uncertain conditions. Modern life often treats preparation as stressful. The frozen world offers an alternative perspective. Preparation can be calm, steady, and reassuring. It can create peace of mind rather than fear. The Ice Age also influenced humanity's relationship with technology in subtle ways. Tools were developed to increase efficiency without excess. Spears, clothing needles, fire-making tools, and shelters were designed for reliability rather than complexity. These tools needed to work consistently under harsh conditions. Simplicity became strength. This lesson remains valuable today. Simple, reliable systems often outperform overly complex ones. Whether in engineering, communication, or daily life, clarity and efficiency create stability. The frozen world encouraged practical design rooted in necessity. Another subtle influence is the way Ice Age conditions shaped emotional discipline. Cold environments required control over impulses. Acting recklessly could waste energy or endanger others. People learned to pause before acting. This created thoughtful behavior and reduced unnecessary conflict. This emotional discipline remains important in modern society. Calm communication, patience, and thoughtful decision-making improve relationships and reduce stress. The frozen world strengthened these qualities through daily necessity. The Ice Age also shaped humanity's understanding of risk management. People learned to identify dangerous weather patterns, unstable ice, and resource shortages. They responded by adjusting movement, storing supplies, and choosing safer routes. This ability to evaluate risk without panic created safer communities. Modern life involves different risks, but the principle remains the same. Awareness, preparation, and calm response improve outcomes. The frozen world helped develop this approach through experience. Another influence is the way Ice Age conditions shaped humanity's relationship with silence and reflection. Long winter nights offered extended periods of quiet. Without constant activity, people reflected on their experiences, relationships, and environment. This reflection strengthened emotional awareness and self-understanding. Modern society often lacks quiet time. The Ice Age reminds humanity that silence is not empty. It is fertile ground for thought and emotional clarity. The frozen world also shaped the human relationship with memory preservation. Important knowledge needed to be remembered accurately. Stories, symbols, and rituals were created to ensure information passed across generations. Memory became a form of survival infrastructure. This concept remains essential today. Education systems, archives, and digital storage all serve the same purpose. Preserving knowledge protects future generations. The Ice Age helped establish this priority through necessity. Another subtle influence is the way Ice Age environments shaped emotional attachment to place. Living in specific landscapes for extended periods created deep connections to land. Mountains, rivers, forests, and plains became part of identity. This sense of place strengthened emotional stability and belonging. Many people today still feel strong attachment to hometowns and natural environments. This emotional connection reflects ancient patterns shaped by long-term settlement and survival in specific regions. The Ice Age also influenced humanity's understanding of cycles of hardship and comfort. People experienced periods of scarcity followed by abundance. They learned that difficult times eventually pass. This created emotional resilience and patience during hardship. This lesson remains valuable in modern life. Challenges often feel permanent when experienced in the moment. The frozen world reminds humanity that change is constant and relief often follows difficulty. Another influence is the way Ice Age conditions shaped the human relationship with cooperation beyond immediate family. Groups expanded networks with neighboring communities. Sharing resources, knowledge, and migration routes created broader social connections. These early networks laid the foundation for trade and cultural exchange. Modern global cooperation reflects this ancient instinct. Collaboration across borders and cultures continues the pattern established during early human migration. The frozen world also shaped humanity's understanding of balance between independence and interdependence. Individuals needed personal skills to survive, but also relied on group support. This balance created strong yet flexible communities. Modern society continues to seek this balance. Personal responsibility combined with social support creates stability. The Ice Age helped establish this structure through necessity. Another quiet lesson from the Ice Age is the importance of rhythm in daily life. Work, rest, movement, and stillness followed natural cycles. People did not work constantly. They followed daylight, weather, and seasonal patterns. This rhythm reduced exhaustion and supported health. Modern research confirms the importance of balanced routines. The frozen world naturally encouraged these patterns long before scientific understanding existed. The Ice Age also influenced humanity's emotional connection to future generations. Decisions made today affected children and grandchildren. Preparing shelter, protecting land, and preserving resources were acts of care for those who would come later. This sense of responsibility remains important today as societies consider environmental sustainability and long-term planning. The frozen world taught that the future is shaped by present actions. Another influence is the way Ice Age conditions shaped humility toward uncertainty. Weather patterns could not always be predicted. People accepted that not everything was controllable. This acceptance reduced frustration and encouraged flexibility. Modern life often seeks complete control. The Ice Age offers a reminder that adaptability is more powerful than rigid certainty. The frozen world also shaped humanity's emotional connection to quiet beauty. Snow-covered forests, frozen rivers, and pale winter light created peaceful scenes that encouraged reflection. These environments continue to inspire calm and creativity. As you imagine these influences spreading gently across time, picture a snowy path leading through a quiet forest. Footsteps are soft. The air is cold and clean. The sky glows faintly with morning light. Allow this image to settle in your mind. Let your breathing remain slow and steady. Feel the gentle rhythm of preparation, patience, and responsibility moving softly through your thoughts. The Ice Age continues to teach humanity, not through force, but through quiet example. Its lessons of foresight, cooperation, and steady care remain present, guiding the slow unfolding of life across generations. As the long story of the Ice Age reaches its quiet conclusion, one final understanding gently emerges. The frozen world was never only about cold, snow, or survival. It was about learning how to exist in harmony with time itself. It taught humanity how to slow down, how to listen, how to wait, and how to move forward without rushing. The Ice Age reminds us that the Earth does not hurry. Mountains rise slowly. Rivers carve valleys patiently. Ice advances and retreats over thousands of years. Yet despite this slow pace, enormous change happens. This teaches a powerful lesson. Meaningful transformation does not require speed. It requires consistency, balance, and care. One of the most peaceful gifts of the Ice Age is the understanding of quiet strength. Glaciers look still, but they reshape entire continents. Snow appears soft, yet it preserves life beneath its surface. Cold seems empty, yet it protects ancient history inside ice. The frozen world shows that power does not always appear loud or dramatic. Sometimes it is gentle, steady, and silent. This lesson applies to human life as well. Small habits repeated daily create strong foundations. Kindness offered quietly builds trust. Patience practiced regularly strengthens emotional resilience. The Ice Age demonstrates that strength grows through calm persistence. Another important realization is the value of acceptance. The frozen world could not be forced to change quickly. People learned to work with conditions rather than fight them. They accepted winter, prepared for it, and trusted that warmer seasons would return. This acceptance created emotional balance and reduced unnecessary struggle. In modern life, many challenges cannot be controlled immediately. Accepting what cannot be changed while focusing on what can be improved brings peace. The Ice Age taught humanity this balance long before psychology gave it a name. The frozen world also shaped humanity's sense of gratitude. Warmth felt more meaningful after cold. Food tasted richer after scarcity. Shelter felt safer after exposure. These contrasts created appreciation for simple comforts. Even today, many people feel deeper gratitude during winter evenings, when warmth and light feel especially comforting. Gratitude strengthens emotional well-being. It shifts attention from what is missing to what is present. The Ice Age naturally encouraged this mindset by highlighting the value of small blessings. Another lasting lesson is the importance of continuity. Life during the Ice Age was built around preserving knowledge, traditions, and skills. People understood that survival depended on passing wisdom forward. This created a strong connection between generations. Modern society continues this tradition through education, storytelling, and cultural memory. The frozen world helped establish the idea that the future is protected by remembering the past. The Ice Age also reminds humanity of the beauty of simplicity. Life in cold environments required focus on essentials. Excess was unnecessary. What mattered most was warmth, food, shelter, and connection. This simplicity created clarity and reduced distraction. Many people today seek simplicity to reduce stress and find peace. The frozen world offers an ancient example of how less can be enough. Another gentle influence is the way Ice Age conditions shaped emotional presence. Without constant stimulation, people became more aware of their surroundings. The sound of wind, the glow of firelight, the rhythm of breathing, and the movement of shadows all became meaningful. This awareness encouraged mindfulness long before the word existed. Mindfulness brings calm, reduces anxiety, and improves focus. The Ice Age naturally encouraged this state by creating quiet environments that invited attention and presence. The frozen world also shaped humanity's relationship with rest. Long nights encouraged sleep and recovery. Rest was not seen as weakness, it was necessary for survival. This created a healthy balance between activity and restoration. Modern research confirms the importance of rest for physical and mental health. The Ice Age offers a reminder that slowing down is not failure, it is preparation for renewal. Another final lesson from the Ice Age is the importance of harmony with natural cycles. People learned to move with seasons instead of resisting them. They worked when conditions allowed and rested when conditions demanded it. This harmony created stability and reduced conflict with the environment. Living in rhythm with nature remains essential today. Sustainable practices, environmental protection, and climate awareness all reflect the same principle. Cooperation with natural systems creates long-term balance. The Ice Age also left humanity with a quiet sense of wonder. Frozen landscapes, star-filled skies, glowing auroras, and endless snowfields inspired awe. This wonder encouraged curiosity, exploration, and appreciation for the beauty of the planet. Wonder remains a powerful emotional force. It reminds people that life is more than routine. It opens the mind and softens the heart. The frozen world cultivated this feeling through its vast and peaceful environments. Another gentle realization is the value of silence. In cold regions, silence was common. It allowed reflection, rest, and emotional processing. Silence became a companion rather than something to avoid. Many people today seek silence through meditation, nature retreats, and quiet spaces. The Ice Age reminds humanity that silence is not emptiness. It is space for clarity. The frozen world also shaped humanity's relationship with hope. Even during the coldest periods, people trusted that change would come. Spring always followed winter. Light returned after darkness. This quiet hope supported emotional endurance. Hope rooted in natural cycles is steady and calm. It does not rush. It waits patiently. The Ice Age taught this form of hope through lived experience. As the story of the Ice Age gently closes, it leaves behind a message that continues to guide humanity. Slow down, breathe deeply, observe carefully, prepare calmly, rest when needed. Move when the time is right. The frozen world does not demand urgency, it invites balance. Now imagine a peaceful winter night. Snow covers the land softly. The sky is clear and filled with stars. The air is cold but calm. Everything feels still and safe. Let this image settle gently into your mind. Allow your breathing to slow. Let your body relax. Let your thoughts become quiet. The Ice Age may be part of the past, but its calm rhythm remains present. flowing quietly through Earth, through nature, and through you. And as this ancient calm surrounds you, you can rest peacefully, carried by the slow and gentle rhythm of time itself.